episode of Bob the Same Man. One question I get asked all the time is, how do you make a yield sign? I still don't know, but I've gotten close. I've been working on it. I figured a few things out, but I'll show you what I came up with. So
here's a picture of the layout of the yield sign. I'll post a link below in the description telling you where you can find a whole bunch of different various layouts.
So this is I'm going to lay out a 36-inch yield sign, and I'll show you how the layout works. Okay, here's a 36-inch yield sign, but when you look at it, okay, it's only measuring out to like 33 and a half. So I got thinking, well, it's not a 36-inch, but it is, and I'll show you why. So here's my blank, my 36-inch blank. Okay, so what I do, when you order your blanks, you order what size you're making, and I suggest everybody make 36-inch, because here's a 30-inch, and see how much smaller it is? Too small, I think. So with the 30-inch, 36-inch, I want the radius corner is going to be 2 inches. So when you order these things, you order them a 36 with a 2-inch radius. So when you order a 36-inch blank, what you're really ordering is it's measured, the blank is measured before they cut out the radius corners, okay? So this is a 36-inch blank. As you can see, the radius corners are here, and they are from corner to corner 36 inches. Okay, so from this corner to this corner is 36 inches, and this is 36 inches, okay? So it's 36 inches on all three sides before they cut out the radius corners, okay? These are 2-inch radius corners, so when you order your blanks, order 2-inch radius corners, okay? Now it's punched out for my post, and this will be a wind brace support, okay? Now here comes the hard part, is the layout.
Okay, here's a little diagram of the size of the sign. So a 30 by 30 will be 24.5 inches high, and you can see the 36 by 36 by 36 will be 29.2 inches, about 29.25, and the 48 is obviously a lot bigger. It's just simple geometry, I guess. Okay, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to open up my library of signs. We got this from one of our vendors. I highly suggest anybody who's in the traffic sign business is to invest in this. Contact your local supplier who sold you your software, and usually they have all your signs already made up. So that's what I use. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to go in and I'm going to open up my 36-inch yield sign, and I'm going to copy it and I'm going to paste it over to here. I'm getting my few things set up here first, and then I'm going to go ahead and copy, paste it, and boom, there's my yield sign. Okay, I'll reduce it down so I can see it a little bit better. Now I'm going to remove that outside border because I don't need to cut that out. That should be my sign blank. And you can see how their radius corners fit in there just perfect. Mine not quite so perfect. So like I said, this is just a workaround that I'm doing right now, and I'm going to try to perfect it a little bit better because I just got to get it exact. The radius is thrown off a little bit on mine. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to send it over to the cutter, and that's what it's going to cut out. I'm not printing these on my printer. I'm going to cut them out the old-fashioned way with the, I call it the old-fashioned way, with the EC film. So I'll send this over to my cutter, and I'll go ahead and weed it out, and we'll get going from there and see what happens.
Okay, let's take a look at what I got. I've already cut it out, weeded it. Checking some of the specs here. This area C, which would be from here to here on the 36-inch, it's showing it should be 5 inches, which I got my 5 inches. The lettering is 3 inches. Got the width. It's supposed to be 2 inches from the top here. According to my sheet, little section D, 36 inches, 2 inches. Got the 2 inches there. I went ahead And it's supposed to have a 3/4 inch border all the way around. Right there, B is my border. So I made some marks, 3/4 of an inch. Listen, I didn't line up quite right. So there's my 36-inch sign, which goes there to there, but it's not technically 36 inches across because of, you cut the corners off. I don't know why it's like that, but that's just how, that's the way it is. Now when I put the overlay over it, I'm going to line up. I don't have this mask, I'm just showing you how it fits. There's the top mark there. There's my side marks. I want to get those lined up. The top, the sides. So I'm 3/4 all the way around. I'm just going to double check these. Make sure, okay, got 3/4 there. A little long there, so I'm going to slide it over just a little bit. So I'm going to go ahead, let's sheet this thing and let's go ahead and apply it to the blank and see what happens. All right, let's apply the transfer tape. See what happens here. I hope someday to perfect it, but for now, I used to buy these, and whenever I send them back to Zap Manufacturing to resurface the blanks, I have been just ordering them to cover them, or I set my order, instead of cleaning the blank, I have it cleaned, and then I have them sheet it with yield on it for me, so because I just can't figure it out. Okay, so I'm going to line that up again, but I'm going to go this way, so when I roll it, I have the larger end first. Sheet this thing. Let's see what happens. Okay, like I said before, try not to touch the EC because you will leave a fingerprint. Okay, let's unmask this. Okay, let's pick this thing apart. So on the sides, I have my 3/4 inch around, okay? But my borders just don't follow up and come around like they should. Okay, so there's where I ended up with the yield sign. I've got my 3/4 inch borders on the sides, but my radius corners, I'm just not very happy with. They just don't, they should have followed up a little bit more and come around, but it didn't. So, like I said, we've been buying these. I have been buying them. But now that I got it close enough, I've been making these. And, I don't think it's going to be a big deal because the border's a little off there. At least it's red and white. It's not green and blue and different colors, yellow, but it is what it is. So, like I said, not too happy with it, but I think I'm just going to live with it for now. I only have about 4 yield signs in the whole county. So I have bought and replaced all of them. And I have a couple now for backup. We did that. We're planning on maybe adding a few more here and there. But it's just sometimes when we have construction, we have a lane shut down and it's in a mountain road that's not very well traveled. So we put yield signs instead of stop signs, so the cars can see each other, and then they just figure out who's going to yield to what, And so there we go. So there's the saga of the yield sign that I haven't quite perfected, but I got it pretty close, and just go from there. Alrighty. Like I said, I had a lot of people asking me, how do you make the yield sign? This is what I come up with. It's not perfect, but I'm still going to perfect it. I want to get those radius corners perfect, but just remember, when you order your blanks, they're going to be a little bit longer. You order 36, and then they're going to cut the radius, and they'll cut the radius off, so they will be a little shorter, and they won't stand up 36 inches tall either. So this is a 36-inch yield sign, and you know how big the 36-inch warning signs are. Let me put one up for kind of a side-by-side comparison. We can see that, how big that is. That's a 36-inch warning sign. Okay. And this is a 36-inch yield sign. As you can see, even if you were to turn it crossways 36, it's totally out of proportion. I don't know exactly how they measure these or whatever, but so there you go. Here's how I do the yield signs. A lot of people are stuck, ask me how do you make a yield sign. So you come to the right place. That's right, you turn to the sign man. As always, thanks for watching, and I will get this perfected someday. And when I do, you'll be the first to know. As always, thanks for watching.